Hello there, our names are Jerry and Alex, also known as the Chess Patzers. This is the first episode of the first season of our new YouTube series on positional chess. Now, when most people think of chess, they think of calculating long variations, tactics, and memorizing openings. However, there is much more to chess than that, namely positional chess. Positional chess involves, instead of tactics and calculation, controlling space, improving your piece's positions, restricting your opponent's pieces, knowing of your opponent's plans before they can commit it, and creating small advantages that you will eventually turn into winning ones. Don't know what I mean? Here's an example. This is a famous game played between Akiba, Rubinstein, and Julius, Perlis. It is still considered a positional masterpiece. D4, D5. Bishop f4, e6, e3, knight f6. Now, people don't really play this variation anymore these days, but this was back a few hundred years ago, so lots of people like to play like this. Nowadays, it's usually c4. Now, knight f3, bishop d6, bishop g3, and now Julius Perlis plays a horrible move, queen e7. Why? This move is a complete waste of time, as playing c5 would have resulted in a massive pawn storm on the queen side, which would have happened much faster. Meanwhile, queen e7 prepares for a pawn break in the center with e5, which is a lot slower and probably won't work because white's knight and bishop can easily stop that. Knight bd2, knight bd7. Perlis is still trying to control the e5 square, so he can play e5 and e4, followed by pawn storm on the queen side and a break in the center. However, his efforts are in vain, as Rubinstein can easily play knight e5, stopping Perlis' attack plan in its tracks. Knight e5, knight e4. Perlis gives his knight an outpost while attempting to create a pawn storm on the king side with f5. However, his knight can easily be traded off, creating bad pawn structure for black. Knight takes e4, d takes e4, queen d2. White is preparing to castle queenside, as Perlis can now easily do a pawn storm on the king side anytime he wants. Bishop e5. D takes e5. Knight b6. Bishop. Now, we will give you a while to think about this move, as it is a brilliant move by Rubinstein. Have you thought of it yet? If you haven't, you can now pause the video to try and think of it. Rubinstein's move was bishop b5 check. Now, you might have been expecting us to tell you about an amazing tactical combination of sacrifice. And now you might be wondering, why is such a boring move that wins no material considered a brilliant move? Why? I'll tell you now. This is a positional brilliant move, not a tactical one. The idea is to either let black play c6, allowing white entry to the crucial d6 square, which allows him into the count, black's count, or to trade off his light squared bishop, who's necessary if black wants to keep his e4 pawn alive. Perlis decides to play bishop d7. So, white trades bishops, black recaptures with his knight, And now black's e4 pawn doesn't have a nice future waiting for it. Queen d4. f5. E takes f6 on Poisson. Knight f6. Now, here's another brilliant move by Rubinstein. This is similar to the last move, so let's see if you can find the patterns. Found it yet? If you haven't, you might feel free to pause the video. Rubinstein's move was Queen a4 check. Just like Bishop b5, if black trades off his queen, his e4 pawn is even worse off. King f7. Castles queenside. Taking the open file and threatening a pin later on in the game when black's knight is removed or pinned. a6. Bishop h4. Queen e8. Queen c4. Knight d5. Now, unless black decides to play queen c6, ruining his pawn structure completely, there is no hope in black keeping his e4 pawn. Queen takes e4. The rest is simple, easy. It just takes technique. Queen c6. Queen f3. King g8. e4. Knight b4. Queen b3. This is when Julius Perlis decided to resign. Now,
do you understand? In this game, you can see Rubinstein slowly improving his piece positions while creating weaknesses in Perlis' position and stopping all of his opponent's plans.
Until next time, this is Chess Patzers. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, like, or suggest future videos.
Alex and Jerry signing out.